Well, hello, my friends. Today I'm going to explain to you why mad global events that you can do nothing about is something that not worth feeling overwhelmed about, and maybe you can do something about them. So we're going to talk about that. What can you do? What can you do about this war in the world? What can you do about all these conflicts? What can you do about corrupt politicians? What can you do about all of the news media, all of the beatings, all of the violence, all of the crime that's going on over the world, folks, that the media loves to throw at you? It can all seem very overwhelming, and there is an opportunity for you to either feel powerless by the whole situation or to do something positive. Today, we're going to talk about both sides of this coin. What can you do? What can you do about all of this nonsense in the world right now? So, feeling overwhelmed, feeling powerless is a very commonplace when things get this way, folks. So, we're going to address it. We're going to address it right at the root. The bottom line is you're not going to be able to single-handedly stop a war in the Middle East, a war in Ukraine, for example. You know, it's not realistic to think that you can directly affect that right here, right now. But what I'm going to give you is a sort of alternative way to view the world, to template this. So if the war or whatever it is, whatever issue it is that's riling you up right now, could be crime, could be something that happened to a friend of yours, could be whatever it is. Look at the behavior that's involved. Look at the behavior. If it's a war, it might be the whole thing of bullying. That might be the issue. What is it about war that's really got you upset? Killing, the wanton destruction of the planet, the animals affected by all of this, people that have no voice, no say, life ended for no reason. There's a whole host of things that might be triggering you right now. So the first thing is to identify what it is specifically that is triggering you about whatever event that it is, whatever news headline that's got you riled up. What is it? What's the behavior? What's the behavior at the heart of it? Get to that, folks. You might even want to pause this video now and list the top three things that are on your mind that are pissing you off, that are causing you pain in any way, shape, or form. And if you're thinking about them, then that is causing you pain. So pause the video, write down the top three, and write the single behavior in amongst that that's irritating you the most. And once you've done that, folks, once you've done that, take that behavior, and now list the areas in your life where that behavior is currently prevalent in what you're dealing with. And what you can do, folks, is deal with it locally. Your internal stuff with regard to that behavior, deal with it locally. What does that mean, Adam? Well, if somebody's bullying you, for example, at work, or somebody's being passive aggressive, what you can do is go and address it, of course. If it's someone in the family, now a lot of people have talked about family stuff, about bad behavior with family members. Now, I'm here to say, just because somebody's family doesn't mean that you can't cut them off from your life. Seriously, folks, being family and being a frequent flyer of somebody that continually pisses you off or abuses you, because they're family, that's no excuse. And you don't have to take these calls. You don't have to hang out with them. You don't have to even speak to them. And if you asking them nicely to change their ways or change the way they behave against you, then cut them out of your life. Stop taking the calls. Stop meeting up with them. Stop doing anything. Why wouldn't you? Why would you invite abusive behavior? Why would you give people permission to do that to you? And this includes anyone in your family. Now, I know you probably think, oh, I couldn't do that. No, you're an empath. You're a healer. Well, that's a dis-ease that most healers get, this belief. And where did this belief come from? That, oh, they're family. I can't do that. Why not? Why can't you do that? Change your behavior. Here's one thing. Here's the central focus of this, folks. There's only one person that you have total control over, just one, and that's you. You cannot control the behavior of other people. You can influence it, but the results are out of your hands. You can't predict the results. The only person that you have 100% control over and influence over is your behavior. And learning what you will and won't put up with is part of the journey, especially for a healer and empath. Being a little bit more ruthless than you're used to being a little bit tougher around the edges, saying no to people occasionally, not dropping everything to go and help others when it doesn't align with you. And another frequent thing I hear with healers and empaths is when they're going through a tough time, nobody seems to even notice it and still draws on them all the time. Now, if you drop everything and you're not feeling great and no one's supporting you to help other people, then what you're doing is enabling bad behavior. You're making it okay. You're telling people that's all right. It's not, folks. And the moment that you wake up to this, the easier your life will get. So you can't maybe influence directly the war. But what you can do is if you start stepping up and being a little bit more firm about what you will take and what you won't take, about setting your boundaries, about saying no to people, about cutting people off that are frequent flyers of abusing you or doing bad things or not listening to your requests or not respecting your wishes, what you'll do is the people that are closest to you, which are probably healers and empaths, you'll teach them how to step up their game. Just imagine this. For anyone that's seen the film Pay It Forward, you'll probably already know this, that one interaction could have a profound spread out. If you step up your behavior and start showing your friends and the people, the healers in your network, how you do it, you might give them the confidence to step up themselves and stop tolerating bad behavior and saying no to people that are taking the piss out of them and abusing them. By changing your own energy locally, dealing with stuff that you can control in your local environment, you teach, empower, and enable other people to do exactly the same. Just imagine if everyone did that and that rippled out, how that could potentially have an influence on world events. Little old you could make a difference. It just takes one person to change what they're doing, to change their energy, to change their life, to step up, to feel more positive, to be more aligned within, to show up in a completely different energy with a confidence that you're not taking any bullshit from anyone. You'll be nice. You'll still be a healer. You'll still be an empath. You'll still help people, but you're doing it from a more aligned space. You're doing it from a place where you are supporting yourself and you're learning to say no when it doesn't align with your better interests or your mood or your energy. Because your energy will be better if you learn to say no. Say no to abuse. Say no to bad behavior. Say no to passive aggression. And the way you say no to passive aggression is calling it out. If you want to do it easily, do it with a smile on your face and just say, oh, we're in passive aggressive zone already. You say that to someone as they passive aggressive you, they hate it. Most passive aggressive, most people that use passive aggression are cowards. And we all use it occasionally, but some people use it more often than others. And if it's a consistent thing, maybe let the first or the second or the third one go. But if someone's doing it every day, call it out. They won't like it. It'll trigger them. It'll trigger them in the same way that they're trying to trigger you with their passive aggressive, I'm better than you approach of cutting down your confidence, cutting down your, your energy, picking away at you with little needles, small needles here and there. Step up your own energy, know what you're good with, say no to nonsense. And this is where it begins, folks. It's a ripple effect. It's a ripple effect. Change your own energy, step up. That confidence will convey to the people that you're closest to the other healers in your network. They'll start to think, actually, I would like a piece of that. And maybe they'll step up their game. But it has to start with you. And it has to start by stopping to think that you can control other people's behaviors. You can influence it, but you only influence it through influencing your own behavior and stepping up in your own world. And we all need that reminder occasionally, folks, including myself. And it's only just having come off a call to re-emphasize this and remind myself that this is what it's all about. We all need people in our network to remind us of this occasionally, folks. And if you get this, if you take this on board, if you run with this, even for a day, you'll notice your energy change. So say no to nonsense, even if it's just a day. If it's a family member that's consistently bad behavior and they message you today, do yourself a favor, ignore it. Ignore it. Ignore bad behavior, especially if you've told people, no, I don't like that, and they still encroach. If you haven't told them that you don't like it, then start today. No, I don't appreciate the way you're speaking to me. I don't appreciate what you're doing here. Please stop. If you don't stop, I'm just not going to take your calls. I'm not going to come around. We're not going to speak again. And they might call you out. And if they do, follow through, folks. Your energy will align. And not only that, from an energy perspective, if there's someone in your life, especially a family member, that's constantly abusing you, and you cut that out energetically, you open the door for a more empowered relationship, a more empowered person, or more aligned interactions to come into your world. So by closing the door on nonsense, you open the door to possibilities. And that is how one person can make a difference. That's how you can make a difference. That's how you can feel better. And that's how you can energize yourself. So, my friends, take this, even if you do it for one day, and experiment. See what it does for your energy, saying no, more nonsense. There you go, folks. And if you want more of that, if you want little reminders that this is a good thing, if you want little exercises that can help you go in the right direction on this path, then do please show a bit of love for this video, like, subscribe, do that there. And you will find more of the same just there, folks. So go out, be empowered, energize, and make the world a better place.